You don't have friends, and it's not because you haven't tried. It's because you learn to destroy before building. Every time someone gets close, you run. Not literally. You stay there, but inside, you've already decided, she's going to betray me too. You were 8 years old. A girl invited you to play. The next week, she excluded you in front of everyone. They laughed at you. That day, you made a promise. I'll never trust a woman again. And you kept it. Until today. Every invitation you refuse. Every message you answer coldly. Every time you disappear from a group. It's not shyness. It's programmed self-sabotage. Napoleon Hill called it negative autosuggestion. Your mind recorded, women hurt, and now it protects you by rejecting first. You think the problem is them, i.e. they're fake, competitive, jealous. But the truth hurts more. The problem starts with you, not because you're bad, but because you're trapped in a belief that became a cell. I don't deserve real friends. And you know what's worse? You attract exactly what you fear. Superficial, opportunistic, toxic women. Because deep down, you want to confirm you were right. There's a phrase that will shock you. You don't want friends. You want to be alone and feel like a victim of it. Because being a victim hurts less than risking again. Your loneliness isn't bad luck. It's not destiny. It's not because you're too different. It's the result of programming you can reprogram. But before changing anything, you need to face the terrifying question. What if the betrayal you fear most already happened, and you were the one who betrayed yourself? This has a name. It's called self-programmed isolation. Napoleon Hill discovered something that changed psychology forever. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish truth from lie. It only obeys what you repeat. And you've repeated your whole life. Women are dangerous. Female friendship doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if this is real. What matters is you believed it. And your belief became a command. Command became behavior. You don't notice, but you sabotage every approach. Someone invites you out. You make an excuse. I'm tired. Someone compliments you. You distrust. What does she want from me? Someone shares a problem. You listen, but don't open up. Because opening up is risking, and risking is reliving the pain. So you prefer the familiar loneliness. Napoleon Hill called this law of attraction by mental frequency. You vibrate on the frequency of distrust, and you attract exactly that. Women you can't trust, not because they're bad, but because you choose them that way. You look for signs of betrayal, and you always find them. A dry message, an invitation not made, a laugh that seemed fake, and that's it. I knew it. You confirm your belief, and the cycle restarts. You know why this hurts so much? Because you're not alone by accident. You're alone by unconscious decision. And as long as you don't see this, nothing changes. The original wound wasn't the girl who excluded you at 8. It was what you decided that day. I'll never let this happen again. And you closed the door on everyone. Good ones, bad ones, indifferent ones. It didn't matter. You locked them all outside and stayed alone inside. Hill said, you become what you think about repeatedly. You thought loneliness. So many times you became lonely. Not by destiny, by mental programming. And here's the part that scares and frees at the same time. If you programmed this, you can deprogram it. But first, you need to admit you were the one who built this prison. You thought you were protecting yourself. You were destroying yourself. You called it self-care. It was self-sabotage. Every time you said, I don't need anyone. You were lying to yourself because human beings were made for connection. And you know this. You feel the pain every night when there's no one to tell about your day, no one to laugh at your jokes, no one who remembers your birthday. But during the day, you wear the mask. I like being alone. I prefer my own company. Friendships are overrated. Lie, lie, lie. And you know it, because when you see a group of friends laughing together, you feel the stab, the envy burns. You want that too. But instead of admitting it, you judge, they must be fake. Tomorrow, they'll be fighting. This is projection. You project onto them the pain you don't want to feel in yourself. Pretend you don't want what they have. Because wanting hurts more than faking contempt. Napoleon Hill said, the mind creates justifications to sustain false beliefs, and yours created a fortress of excuses. I'm too independent. Women are jealous of me. I don't fit in. I'm too deep for superficial friendships. All comfortable lies. Because the truth is scary. The truth is you're afraid. afraid to try and fail again, afraid to open up and be rejected, afraid to discover the problem was always you. So you chose control. Control through distance. If you don't get close, you don't get hurt. If you don't risk, you don't lose. But you also don't win, don't grow, don't heal, don't live. You traded the possibility of pain for the certainty of loneliness and called it wisdom. But God never asked this of you. He didn't create you to live isolated. Proverbs 18:24 says, "There are friends more loyal than brothers." God promised you true connection, but you rejected it before receiving it because you were afraid to believe. If you made it this far, it's because something inside you still believes change is possible, and it is. But you don't have to do this alone. Subscribe to this channel right now, because here, every video reveals the truth no one told you about your pain and what God is trying to teach you through it. Psychology to understand, faith to transform. You deserve more than the loneliness you chose out of fear. God sees you, and He never wanted you to live like this. Psalm 68:6 says, "God sets the lonely in families." He didn't create you for loneliness. He created you to belong, to be seen, to be loved, to love back. But He also respects your choices. And you chose the walls, chose the distance, chose the protection that became prison. God didn't punish you with loneliness. You punished yourself, and He waited for you to realize you can't take it anymore. Because it's only when you admit you're broken that He can start rebuilding you. As long as you pretend you're fine alone, He respects your lie. But now, you're here, reading this, feeling this, and this is no accident. God allowed you to hit rock bottom, not to destroy you, but to show you that rock bottom has an exit, and the exit starts with a decision. The decision to stop blaming other women, stop blaming the past, stop blaming God, and take responsibility for your programming. Proverbs 18:24 promises, "There are friends more loyal than brothers." This means God already prepared true connections for you, but you need to open the door, need to unlearn the fear. God won't force anyone into your life. He'll heal you from the inside, reprogram your mind, teach you to trust again, but you need to want it, need to choose healing over control, choose risk over loneliness, choose faith over fear, because the truth is this: God never abandoned you. You isolated yourself, and now He's calling you back to connection, back to community, back to the life you were made to live. But only you can take the first step. Now comes the part that will make you uncomfortable, because healing doesn't happen with prayer alone. It happens with action, and the first action is brutal. You need to stop judging other women. Every time you look at a group and think, "They're fake," stop, breathe deeply, and ask, "Or am I just afraid?" Because 99% of the time, it's fear disguised as discernment. You're not protecting your heart, you're killing your chances. Napoleon Hill taught, what you focus on, you amplify. You focused on female betrayal your whole life, and guess what your mind found? Betrayal everywhere, even where there was none. Your mind was programmed to confirm, "See, I knew it." A neutral comment became an attack. A silence became rejection. A laugh became mockery. You interpreted everything through the filter of fear, and that filter blinded you to any possibility of real connection. Now you're going to reprogram that filter. Reprogramming starts with conscious repetition. Every day, for 30 days, you'll do this. Look in the mirror and say out loud, "I deserve true friends. I am worthy of connection. Women are not my enemies. I choose to trust again." It will feel like a lie at first. It will feel ridiculous. You'll feel embarrassed, but you're not convincing the world. You're reprogramming your subconscious, and it only changes with intentional repetition. The second action is even harder. You're going to find a woman you admire. Could be from work, the gym, church, social media. And you'll do one simple thing. Compliment her. Doesn't need to be deep, just genuine. "I like your shirt. You did great work today. I admire your courage." Small, but real. And when she responds, don't sabotage. Don't look for hidden motives. Accept her smile for what it is, just a smile. Because you spent years building walls, now you'll learn to build bridges. Wait, if you got distracted, come back here with me now, because what comes next is the most important part of all this. Pay attention. The third action will shock you, because it goes against everything you learned. You're going to forgive the girl who excluded you at 8 years old, not for her, for you. Because as long as you carry that pain like a trophy, you remain trapped in that day. She moved on with her life. You stayed frozen in the wound. Forgiving doesn't mean saying it was okay. It doesn't mean forgetting or pretending it didn't hurt. It means removing the power that memory has over you today. It means stopping using that day as an excuse to sabotage all your chances of connection. It means freeing the 8-year-old girl who still cries inside you. Sit somewhere quiet, close your eyes, and say out loud, "I forgive you." Doesn't matter if you feel it or not. Say it anyway. Because forgiveness is a decision, not a feeling. The feeling comes later, when you repeat the decision until it becomes truth. Napoleon Hill said, "Action generates emotion, not the other way around." The fourth action is practical and will take you out of your comfort zone. You're going to accept the next invitation you receive. Doesn't matter if it's for coffee, a birthday party, a study group. You're going to say yes, even trembling, even afraid, even thinking it will go wrong, because you spent your life refusing opportunities for connection. "I'm tired. I don't like these things. I have other plans." All lies. You were afraid, and fear kept you alone. Now you'll act despite the fear, because that's how you rebuild trust, by practicing. And when you're there, among people, don't run to the bathroom. Don't stay on your phone. Don't count the minutes to leave. Stay present. Look in their eyes. Truly listen. Say something, even if it's simple. Because connection doesn't require perfection, it requires presence. The fifth action is spiritual and will anchor you when everything feels too difficult. Every day, before sleeping, you'll pray like this: "God, teach me to trust again. Show me who the right people are. Heal me from the fear of being rejected. Give me courage to try." Short, direct, because God doesn't need eloquent prayers. He needs a willing heart. And when you ask Him to teach you, He teaches. When you ask Him to heal you, He heals. But you need to cooperate. Do your part. Take the steps. Open the doors. Because God doesn't invade. He acts where you allow. You were 8 years old when you decided women were dangerous. But today, you understand that girl didn't know what she was doing. She was a child too. Hurt too. And what she did to you doesn't define who you need to be today. The loneliness you carry isn't destiny. It's the consequence of a decision you made when you were too small to understand its weight. You promised to never trust again, and you kept it until today. But promises made in fear can be unmade in faith. Napoleon Hill taught you that your mind accepts what you repeat. You repeated fear your whole life. Now you'll repeat faith. You'll repeat openness, you'll repeat hope, and you'll see your reality change, not because God did a miracle, but because you cooperated with healing. God never wanted you to live isolated. Psalm 68:6 promised, "God sets the lonely in families." He already prepared the right friends for you, but you needed to be ready to receive them. And being ready meant healing the wound that kept you locked up. Now you know the truth. The problem was never you being too different or too deep. The problem was you being too wounded. And unhealed wounds turn into walls. Walls turn into prisons, and prisons turn into chronic loneliness. But you don't have to live like this anymore. You have the tools, you have the awareness, you have the faith, and most important, you have the choice. Choice to reprogram your mind, choice to forgive the past, choice to risk again. Choice to trust that God is with you on this journey. It won't be easy. You'll stumble. There will be days when fear screams louder than faith. There will be moments when you'll want to give up and return to familiar loneliness. But every time that happens, remember, you already know what it's like to live isolated. Try now to live connected. You were 8 years old when you closed the door. Today you have the key to open it again. And on the other side of that door, there's no betrayal. There's possibility. Possibility of laughing with someone for real. Possibility of being seen and loved. Possibility of living the life God always planned for you. The choice is yours. If this message made sense to you, subscribe to our channel. Here, every story reveals why you suffer and what God is teaching you through it. Psychology to understand yourself, spirituality to understand the why. And for you who made it to the end of this video, leave a comment saying, "I choose connection." Because when you declare this publicly, you're making a pact with your own healing. And God honors those who have the courage to take the first step. He will show you the right friends. You just need to be open to receive them.